I'm Russ Gould. I'm the prostate cancer director at Wellness Place, and also involved with US2 International, which is a support group for prostate cancer patients. I'm probably most importantly a 13-year survivor with advanced cancer and still treating it all the time.
My name is Rudy Lombard. I'm an 8-year survivor as of this year, April Fool's Day. And I'm a research associate at the Robert H. Lurie Cancer Center in the Department of Medical Social Sciences. I think if you're not in a good relationship with your wife or your girlfriend, then it creates an additional level of stress, because on the issues of sexual intimacy and so forth, a diagnosis and a treatment of prostate cancer will definitely force you to adjust to a lifestyle which is very different than anything prior to the diagnosis.
In our particular case, in the beginning, it was, okay, we got to do something about a treatment here. So let's set some priorities. What's most important? All right, number one became save my life. And my wife was, and my kids were obviously very much a big part of that. Talk about the stress. They had a lot more stress over that than I did. But anyway, so number one was save my life. Now that does make a difference on which treatment you choose. After that, then there's a bunch of side effects. So you learn what these are, and then look at them and see which ones are going to that's important to you. And so in our case, in terms of the sex life issues and all of the things associated with it, we had 3 wonderful kids already. They were in college, so we didn't have to worry about having kids. So we could, at least from that part of the sex life issues, deal with that. And then we knew that there was going to be some very serious problems with it, and we've just dealt with it and found ways around all of these side effects that you do get with it.
In my relationships, I found it difficult because I wasn't able successfully to talk to my wife about that. And if you're not in a good relationship, I think you get some stress associated with that. On the other hand, I've been in workshops where a woman said to the group, my husband didn't have prostate cancer. We had prostate cancer. And I think that's the ideal situation for a man who's dealing with prostate cancer to be in. Now, how you create that relationship, I have no idea. I was not good at that. On the other hand, if you can find women who are candid enough for you to talk about it with them, that's better than nothing. And you got the challenge of being candid with other men, and you got a challenge of being candid with whatever female that's in your life. So I would think that's very important, and you're very fortunate if you can do it with your spouse or girlfriend. Let me say this to you. The whole issue of penile atrophy and erectile dysfunction, that's really a preoccupation of men. I think when you have the prostate cancer experience, you find out that that's not nearly as important to your spouse or your girlfriend as it is to you.
That's true.
That you begin to redefine the whole nature of what your sensual relations are to women. But for men, you see, a lot of their ego is caught up in this whole issue of the size of their penis or the ability to have an erection at will, when in fact you grow up because prostate cancer may force you to realize that that's not nearly as important to women. And you can have a good sensual sexual relationship without that being an issue of primary importance to you and to your significant other. But it's far more important to male ego when you're starting out, and they worry about making a decision about cancer treatments based upon this male ego notion that you have to be virile and have a strong erection. And
I often know
so
women will
forth.
say that to the guys into our group too. He's worried about that. Why
Right.
doesn't he understand that I don't care? That's
There
not
you
an
go.
issue.
So-
In fact, maybe that's one of the paradigms of prostate
you
cancer.
have to redefine
good.
what sexuality means, and in a sense, you get blessed with prostate cancer in many, many ways because it forces you to grow up about a lot of, problems, which has to do with male ego.